Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Dark Anime Robin. In this video, I'll be unboxing and reviewing the SH Monsterarts Monster X from the Godzilla Final Wars movie that was released in the year 2004. And this set is manufactured by Bandai Tamashii Nation. Let's first take a look over the details shown on this case before we open this set. So, on the front cover of the box, we have just the picture of the Monsterarts figure of the Monster X itself here. And on either side, again, just more pictures taken from different angles. And on the back here, these 5 pictures kind of shows us how this figure, like all SH Monsterarts and SH Figuarts action figure, they are capable of super modeling feature, which means they're all very articulated, capable of like putting on all kinds of poses for display and in order to recreate the kind of moves or things these monster characters do from their movies. And like here we have like Monster X running. You're putting on different kind of stance here, and this here is a recreation of the scene of Monster X fighting Godzilla from the Godzilla Final Wars movie. And this Monster X was the only monster that proved a challenge to Godzilla. As you can see, he was so strong that he could lift Godzilla up by the arms. And if you have the Godzilla Monsterarts from the same movie, you could use both figure to recreate this thing as well. And nothing down here except again another picture. And now let's get the figure out of the case. Here we have the Monster X Monsterarts figure inside this plastic case, and it looks like we have at least one pair of interchangeable hands. It looks like the default hands kind of fell off in transit here. That's unfortunate, but looks like this set does not come with instruction manual. The only thing it has is up here. It just shows the interchangeable hand, nothing else. So it looks like the only thing for this set is just the action feature you can do with this figure's posability and articulation. Now let's set the monster free. So here again, the default hand was fell out of place, so now I'm just gonna put it back on here. And looks like thanks to the tail here, this figure can stand on its own without having to do much adjustment, but of course you want to just do a little minor adjustments so you can put on good stance. If we look into this case again, looks like there's actually another tail, so looks like this figure is supposed to have like two tails at the end here, so this one also has to be attached on. So the default setup seems to be complete now. And as you can see, this monster actually looks very similar to Godzilla, kind of fitting. They are set as like the ultimate opponents in final battle in the movie. And now let's check out this figure's articulation. So these extra side skull heads are kind of flexible around the shoulders. And you can look down very easy with this head, but not really up. You can turn like about 45-degree left and right. And his jaws can open and close. And the arms is very articulated. It looks like you have to be careful when you work with these articulation, or you can get some parts loose. Yeah, but with these arms can easily put on some kind of slashing or clawing move with Monster X here. And looks like you can turn left and right around its waist, also about 45-degree. So you can also like bend a little bit, back a little forward. It's not very much backward though. And a lot of articulation around the hip joints here. And he can bend his knee. Strong articulation around its feet as well, so this helps to adjust its stance. Finally, the long tail here. It seems like, well, the tail is flexible and articulated, but it's so thin it can easily, and as you saw, these two parts are detachable. With these articulated action figure, having parts that are somewhat easily detached is actually kind of a good thing as well as bad thing. It's bad because you'll feel like they're too easy to fall apart, but it's also good because like if you when you try to bend or move around these figures joints, if it's possible, sometimes you maybe push a little too hard that you don't know, so you can you are easily detaching them, but if those set joints are like too inflexible, you could just break them. And with these being able to be detached, they're actually less likely to break. You just have to be very careful when you try to set up these poses. And if you set the balance right, you can have this figure standing without having to rely on the tail. Although it might be just easier if you do rely on the tail. There we go. It would also help if you just straighten out the legs a little more, so you can have the figure standing up without having to rely on the tail. With the tail's articulation, you can always set this figure to put on some kind of tail whipping displays or poses. And here are the pair of the interchangeable hands you saw in the case earlier. And these are the only difference between these and the default hands are that they are a little more opened up, showing the palm. And the claws are like more straightened up. And to put them on, it's easy. All you have to do just literally take out the default hands like this, then just reattach the alternate hands on. The same thing with this other hand here. These are probably more fitting for like some kind of dashy self introduction kind of pose. With a compatible display stand and these alternate hands, you can set up this figure to do a running pose like the one you saw from the case. It can be slightly challenging because the figure is supposed to be a little tilted when performing this pose. This covers the basic features of this set. Now let's try how this figure look when put on display with the Final War Godzilla Monsterarts. Here we have two powerful beasts staring at each other. Here we have two of them going to claw or slashing at each other. And here we go. This is not the perfect recreation, but it's the powerful scene from the movie where Monster X lifts Godzilla up by the arms. Where Monster X proved like he's a really powerful and challenging opponent to Godzilla when he pick him up like that. And in order to put on this kind of display, you definitely need a compatible display stand that you can use to hold Godzilla up, because there's no way the Monster X Monsterarts figure here can perform this feat by itself. So ultimately, it seems like this figure is not really good by itself, because it appears its best use would be to be able to put on display or pose with the Final War Godzilla Monsterarts. But still, like all Monsterarts, it's a very well crafted 3D manifestation of a really powerful monster from a movie. So if you're interested for like its skeletal design, then this would be a very interesting collectible for you. Also, it might be harder to notice unless you look closely, but its eyes, its glowing eyes are painted really well. It's a metallic red, and under good lighting, it kind of refracts or glow very well, and so making the creature looking even scarier, so making a very good villainous monster. So even if you're not interested in recreating the movie scenes from Godzilla Final Wars, this could still be used as a good bad guy monster to put on display against any good guys or good monster you have in your collection. And this concludes my review for this set. Thanks everyone for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please click like and subscribe to my channel, and please check out other videos for my channel. If you have any question, please leave them in the comment section. I will answer with the best of my knowledge and ability.